Hey, what's up YouTube? Houston here. Hey, if you're trying to get a car for your business and you're trying to get it through Navy Federal, let me help you understand why, even if you have perfect credit, even if you make a lot of money, it doesn't matter to Navy Federal, okay? And I'm gonna explain this because I had a client. Their situation was that great credit and good income, but there was 4 things that were stopping them. Now, understanding, I always tell you guys, okay, I always tell you guys that, one, make sure that you have a good internal score with Navy Federal, right? And I told you all how to accomplish that. That's by getting the flagship checking account, getting a savings account, getting a in rewards card, getting a pledge loan, and making sure you have a direct deposit. So you can also get a CD or money market account as well, right? Now, here's the thing about it. This client, he actually did have all of those. Now, what was stopping him? Credit score was almost 800, okay? Credit score almost 800. His situation was credit score being 800, income being over 6 figures. So why would Navy Federal turn him down? Well, here's the situation that happened, all right? One, he went on a credit card spree prior to. No, before that, he tried to go through other lenders, right? To see would they give him a better rate than with Navy Federal, okay? And those other lenders, they kept pulling his credit, putting those hard inquiries on his credit, okay? So that's one penalty, right? That's just the one penalty, all right? When he decided, I'm going to just go ahead and apply with Navy Federal. Well, Navy Federal looked at the credit file. Now, there's 2 different sides to the story, so you got to understand what I'm saying. So Navy Federal looked at his credit score. They knew what his internal score was, all right? And they told him no, right? So it had nothing to do with the amount of money he had. It had nothing to do with him having almost an 800 credit score. It had nothing to do with him having an internal score. Again, what screwed him is because he decided to see would another car dealership give him a better rate than Navy Federal. And because he did that with multiple, they end up putting more inquiries on his credit, okay? As a matter of fact, he had over, I always tell you all, the maximum amount of credit inquiries you want to have with financial institutions is between 6 and 8. Well, he had over 8 inquiries, all right? So that's strike number 1, all right? Now, strike 2 was that he had too many open revolving accounts. Now, granted that those accounts are paid off every month. Well, at the time that he applied, those were open balance accounts. This is the reason why I continue to tell you guys, if you're trying to apply for funding or a credit card or car loan with Navy Federal, make sure that your open revolving credit cards are paid off. That's the reason I say you set your revolving accounts. Notice I'm not saying personal loans. I'm talking about revolving accounts like your credit cards. So setting up your personal revolving accounts like your credit card from smallest to largest and trying to pay them down to 0, right? Because 1, this helps your DTI, debt to income ratio, all right? Now, granted, like I said, good income and good credit score. But when you have multiple open revolving accounts, okay, this can impact you on a negative level. So that's the reason that I tell you guys, if you're going for new credit cards with Navy Federal, loans with Navy Federal, car loans with Navy Federal, make sure that if you have multiple open revolving accounts, try to get those revolving accounts paid down to 0 or at least under 10%. All right? So that's strike number 2 he had. Strike number 3, these new accounts he had, okay? He had a new account and they wasn't seasoned. They were less than a year old, okay? So when you have multiple new accounts on the credit file and they're not seasoned, them it looks like high risk. All right. Now, again, I know it's confusing because you're like, well, if he had an internal score and he had a good credit score and he had good income, what's the problem? Again, too many inquiries, too many open revolving accounts, okay? Too many new accounts, all right? So those are the things that will actually get you denied. Those are the things that will actually get you denied, okay? Here's something else you need to understand, especially when going to get a car loan with Navy Federal and you're trying to get that car loan under your business. Here's the thing about it. You have two ways to do this. One is you apply for a personal loan and then have them to transfer it over to a business auto loan, or you go straight for a commercial loan. Okay, so those are your two options. Well, in order to do that, all right, you have to understand this. In order to do that, you have to have your business application, okay, filled out. Then you have to have, basically, if you're buying a vehicle, it's better that you have that bill of sale. So if you find a certain car that you want, you know, it's better to approach that dealer to get the final numbers and stuff and take that back to Navy Federal so they can actually see you have a bill of sale. They also want to see proof of mileage. Now, I want to share something with you that happened to a client that was unfortunate. You all know where the credit union will give you a check, right? So they give you a check, and when they give you a check, you make it out to the dealership or whatever. But here's the thing, unfortunately, and I felt sorry. I had somebody that stated to me they sent the check out, okay, to this dealership, and the dealership never sent them the car. Now, because they actually received the check and that check was actually cashed, even though they didn't receive the car, they are still financially liable for that. Even though they never received the car, they're still financially liable for that. And most people don't realize that when they're doing this. That's the reason it's very important about the paperwork, title, and stuff like that, so that you won't get taken advantage of. Now, if you're applying for a car loan, okay, and you're going to plan on transferring over to the business, they're going to pull your TransUnion. If you're applying for a commercial car loan, then they're going to pull your Experian. Okay, so just keep that on the business side. It's going to be Experian. All right, on the personal side, it's going to be TransUnion. So that way you know. So if you're going to get say you're going to get a Benz or a Cadillac Escalade or something like that, you know, or any type of car, right? If you're just going to go get a car or whatever, without having the business established and stuff like that, then they're going to go for your TransUnion. But if you're actually trying to get like a commercial truck, like a truck to start delivery or something like that, or start a tow truck business or something like that, that's in the commercial lending department. And so with the commercial lending department, like I said, they're going to pull your Experian. But the good thing about it is still FICO 9, okay? So just keep that in mind. They're still going to use FICO 9. Now, if you don't know your FICO 9 credit score, click the link in the description and pull your real credit file. If you need to schedule a one-on-one consultation to see about your personal credit, business credit, how to get funding, then click the link in the description and schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.